Yes, yes. Welcome to another edition of the Motivational Check-In. I'm your co-host RJ together with my I'm your host RJ together
I'm
with my
your host.
with my co-host KR. KR, what's up, man?
What's up, everyone?
Yes, yes, yes. In today's edition of the Motivational Check-In, we will discuss or view and discuss a short clip of one of the greats, Mr. Steve Harvey himself. As some of you might know, uh, in the motivational check-in, we do weekly reviews of motivational videos of other people, just to see, what they think, how they moved, what they went through to get to where they got, and the moral of the story is that hey, if they can do it, so can I, so can you, so can KR. Even KR can get there, starting from his mama's basement. As you,
Yes, sir. You took words out of my mouth, but okay.
yes, yes, yes. So before we continue, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us. We want to get to 1,000 subs by the end of June of this year. Remember to rate the video by smashing the like button as well. And don't forget to share the videos with your friends, family, and of course, your enemies.
Please.
Yes, yes. With that being said, let's go straight to it. Yes. I see that we have AI because I just said, let's go straight to it. And it did what it needed to do. Let's go.
Listen, getting successful, whatever you consider successful, if it's rich, whatever, it's not a magic trick. It's not God picks certain people he'll make rich and certain people he don't.
Yeah, so in this video, as you guys can see, Steve, we're talking about getting rich. Um, and I mean,
Being
rich,
successful as well.
yeah, yeah. But he starts it off with being rich. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. To me, when you talk about rich, it's not only monetary, but always say, what's the point in being rich if you don't have, if everything else isn't balanced. So but let's see um how he defines richness, and yeah, just the way he views the topic.
He gives all of us as his children the power of choice. You have a say so in that. You can decide to be rich. And with God's help, it's highly doable. But you first have to think it. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here.
Yes, I mean, to your point, success, right? It's I was talking to someone in to a CFO, or a person who has been the CFO of various companies. Now he's a consultant and advises companies on reorganizations when things are going down. And he says the biggest mistake that a lot of people make is they folk they their target is to get money. And he says that's a wrong way to think of it. You need to provide value equal to the money that you want to make. Because if you only think about the money you want to make, let's say you want to make 1 million a year or 6 figures a year, whatever the case may be, you don't think about how you want to get there as it pertains to the value. So what value will you exchange? Then the chances of you getting there will be smaller, or it might take you less time. And he says that, a lot of times it begins with the mind. It's just the way you look at something, the way you define it, that define what you want, and the way you set your goals. What do you think about that, Kaya?
Yeah, I do agree with that statement relating to the value. Because if you think about it, what is a scam? A scam is something might be considered a scam and an unequal trade in value. So I trade you 100,000 for what I think is valued 100,000, but it's actually valued at 10,000.
Yeah.
So you want to offer that value, and you in general you got to focus on value first, and then the money will come eventually. If you focus on creating value, whatever business you have. So, for example, you're selling hair products. You got to focus on the quality of your hair products first,
Yeah. Well, yeah, continue.
and after, if the quality is good, people will promote it even for you. So you have to spend less on marketing, and so on. You keep building upon that.
Yeah. Speaking of mindset, I laughed. It's just something I saw yesterday. Uh, it's weird, but sometimes, let's say, especially if you have the mindset of, let's say, the abundance mindset, or the mindset that, hey, you can achieve it, then you start realize that a lot of people don't have that mindset, and words have power. So it's like what you say is basically can determine whether you're setting yourself up for success or for failure.
You or your kids
I
or your
know
friends.
I know of a guy. He always posts memes and videos about uh, how miserable it is to be a employee. he said
Who does that? Oh
uh,
my God!
he
Oh
said
no!
he said can't wait for the job to be over. Can't believe it's Monday.
Really?
Yeah, it's small. It's the small weekend, a small Friday. So you have
Mm.
Friday and you have small Friday. So basically, he's saying that, implying that he's checking out mentally from Thursday on. Uh, so it's like people living for the weekends. And this guy put something. It was very funny when I read it. Um, Something to the extent of, I can't believe my, my day my day's salary is valued at the same price as a uh, fish menu at a restaurant.
Ooh.
So it's like, and it's funny, but at the same time, what why I
You're
can't I
doubting
just
yourself.
I can't wait. I can't wait until I win the lotto. So it's the mind, and it's mindset, and you stay in the same place. So I think it's very powerful. You want to say something before we continue?
No, let's continue. I want to say something, but doesn't matter.
If you want to say something, then let's continue.
I'm no
Yeah.
better than none of y'all. I'm not a better person than you. I'm not a better Christian than you. God don't love me more than you. None of that. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. This has to change. Listen to me. It's not what makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable.
Yep.
See, but you got to change, though.
I think what he says is very important right here, because we had the previous motivational check-in with Tabitha Brown. We talked about having a vision, and what he means, it starts here. Your vision, being able to see where you want to go, and then working towards it. So I think that's very important in this case. Guys, go
Yeah,
check out the previous motivational check-in about Tyler Perry and Tabitha Brown. Very, very great insight in having a vision and building in silence.
yeah. And there's a book, right? Start with the end in mind. I don't know if you've read it. I haven't read that book. But it's basically
I've
where
never
do
read
you?
it, but I'm always thinking with the end of mind. So why
Yeah,
am I reading something I already know?
yeah. Well, I always say it's important to put yourself in the environment to grow, because what we're doing, I mean, you're feeding. If you feed yourself, and I think in the next one I might uh, pick a video of Patrick Bet David, because he has this theory about disappearing for 1 year. Just disappear for 1 year. Uh,
Oh,
s-
don't end up disappearing like you're getting caught by the cartel. Don't think that's what he meant. What means, but
yeah, but he was talking. Yeah, no, he was talking more about just disappear. You want to learn about marketing. You want to learn about leadership. Buy every book you can think of, and basically enter into monk mode for
hmm,
1 year. Just
1 year.
disappear. No parties, no alcohol, no anything. Just focus and see where, how far you will get. But a lot of people won't do that. So it's the end in mind is one thing. The idea is one thing. Working as well is another thing. That's what I meant with to your comment about why would you read something if you already know. I see it differently. You're already putting information in your head, be it information you receive at work, all the random things you sent me when we're choosing topics to discuss for the Double Touch show. And sometimes it's good to have, those positive things as well, just to make sure that you are balanced. That's what I would say.
Yeah,
Uh,
I do. Well, of course, it's slightly a joke what I said, but I do agree with you that. But the thing is, one thing that's important, and I think starting with here, and to tie it in with what Mr. Harvey says, because I forgot his first
Steve.
name, Steve.
Yo, I was like, why did you call me Sir R?
I was like, what's his name again? Steve. Yes, but the honorable Mr. Harvey.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of times people don't push themselves. It starts with pushing yourself. I do believe this. My personal belief, you gotta push yourself in whatever situation you are. So if you're working a job, you want to be the best at your job, and it starts with that kind of way of thinking to build upon that. You- And you also learn not to only work hard, but to work smart as well. And then you start building confidence, because a lot of times why people are not putting their best foot forward is because of the lack of confidence. They're not sure whether they'll make it. So I'll rather put 50% in and just get by rather than put 100% in and see how far I can go.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's
Okay,
continue.
let's continue.
If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's
Church.
not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone. Do with it.
I want to repeat that one.
They no matter what your mind to change, but life, and you ain't happy with it. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things.
Mhm.
But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change.
You have to make a conscientious decision. Let's continue.
And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter.
Steve didn't mention a very important one. It doesn't even matter what your wife or husband thinks.
As Anton Daniel said,
Anton
Not gonna say
Daniels.
it over here. It's
Anton Daniels had a rant.
he
He's,
went
but
off.
but Kr, that's the that's the thing about life. It's paradoxical because what I've seen is that sometimes, and Anton discussed it in his rant as well, guys. Uh, Anton Daniels is a very popular YouTuber. Well, a popular, yeah, good YouTuber. He has multiple channels. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing streaming wise, but he's also in his personal life. He's also he's been getting it before YouTube, and he had a good rant. I'm not going to repeat it here, but
I hope that I'm gonna
but
shut this stuff down if you start talking like that.
but what's
Uh,
interesting, so what's amazing about what he said, and it's true, and it might sound harsh, but it doesn't matter what your wife thinks, doesn't matter what your husband thinks. um, if you want to do something, that if you want to change your environment, you just need to do it. And of course you need to take a nuanced, um, but what I've noticed is, Kiara, that when you announce change, you announce that change is coming, or if you start changing your ways, for example, you don't visit as much, or you don't talk as much, or whatever, or you don't do what people are used to, the first reaction is oftentimes resistance. Why are you doing this? And some people might even get negative, it will never work, etc., etc. But what I've noticed is that when you improve, your relationships improve as well.
how
It's
so?
I think because you exert confidence, you get success. People see, hey, this person can. Um, People will respect you. I would say as well, because for example, you're gonna start a business. You know how many people tell their kids, don't start a business, it's dangerous, it will never work, you need to, be a dentist or whatever. And when they start getting it, I think the parents can get, or people get a certain level of respect as well. And I think especially for men, the respect part is very important. But oftentimes when you people are selfish by nature. So if I am used to Kr being there every time I have problems and I have a shoulder to cry on, and now Kr isn't here anymore, I might, people will say, Kr, I know you're working, but you should always stay social and those type of things. And while and if Kr can do two things. You can either say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be that friend. I'm gonna be that friend." I know in this example, Kr has never been that guy, but okay. If you're crying in front of Kr, he has a likely chance to walk away from you. But but I'm
Or
just saying,
watch you cry without saying something.
he might
I've done
even
it a couple of times.
he might
I'll,
even laugh.
I'll continue the conversation after you're done crying.
Yeah, but but so my point is, you can do two things. Uh, some people cannot. Some people will give in, but the more sometimes, care, the best thing is to not do anything, keep doing you, because it's not your problem. Because when you're in a better position, you're able to help someone. I mean, I can't explain, I don't know what it is exactly, and I mean, I can go hours and hours talking about this, which is not the purpose of this stream. But all I know is, when your life gets better, the lives of the people around you and the relationships around you get better as well. That's all.
Yes,
Like,
and you'll be able to push people forward as well.
yeah,
You will become like the person people aspire to be.
to
Like,
be, yeah, you become an inspiration to people,
yeah,
because if you can do it, maybe they can too. Let's
maybe they
proceed.
can, and maybe you can push them as well.
Yeah,
They see you can
well,
do it. You tell them, oh,
I don't push anyone. I try to I mean, no,
push them like this is how you do it.
I can give advice, but it needs to be mutually at this point.
Oh,
Care.
I'm not. So, you gotta
I'm not
understand. The
not
push is
pulling
more.
anyone. I'm not pulling anyone
That's
to
totally different.
yeah.
That's pulling someone, getting him. No, you gotta do it yourself.
But I
You
can
gotta do it
help it.
yourself. Only thing I can do is show you how it's done, and of course, be the person accountability that you can go to
Yeah.
when things are rough. But hey, man,
Yeah. Let's continue.
They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone. It's two people born in a hospital every day. It's a person that's born in a hospital that's going to get a job, and somebody born in a hospital that's going to give them a job.
Sometimes they're twins.
You get to decide.
that math doesn't add up. But okay,
It's a figure of speech, man.
Which one you gonna be. You get to decide. Let me tell you something. You get to decide if I'm gonna be rich, poor, mediocre, plentiful, happy, sad. You have a decision to make. Your mind, all right, here we go. This is the teaching moment. Let me give you this so you can get on with your 2019. You walk in the house, you pick up the remote control. Let me teach you how this works. And you press the power button. When I told you 2019 will be the best year of your life, but you have to claim it. You have to expect it to be the best year of your life. You have to live your life with the expectation that great things are coming your way. And that's how it works. Now, let me teach it to you. You grab your remote, you press the power button. What do you expect to happen? You expect the TV to come on. Guess what? It come on. If you want to see Sports Center channel 46, and you press 46 and OK or select, what do you expect to come on your TV? Sports Center. And guess what show up? Sports Center.
Yeah. I think I get I get what it.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I didn't agree until you started talking about this sport channel.
The analogy, yeah.
The
Yeah.
analogy is crazy, but hey, man.
It's not, yeah, but I get what he's saying.
Yeah, of course I get it, but I mean there are
and-
better analogies out there.
Yeah. But I think it has to do with I mean, we talked about it in the Tabitha show as well. It's basically faith. I wouldn't say expectation, but it's faith, and not faith in it's faith that it will happen. That's what you need to have, because I don't know if you need to expect it to happen, because if you expect, I mean, a lot of times things will not go your way, but maybe it means you expect the result, maybe the end result, maybe. But with faith, I mean, you need to, when I say faith, I mean, there needs to be something that you're believing. There's a level that of belief that you need to have that it will happen. That it's not
Conviction?
just
Is that the better word? Conviction?
You can use conviction. You can use conviction. I don't know if it's a better word. I think it's I think it's a different word. Faith has, I mean, conviction. So I would say the difference between conviction and faith in this context is that conviction is you're convinced, right? But convinced is more rational. Faith is more emotional. So I think you need to have the conviction and the faith. But if you have faith alone, and I mean faith. If you only have faith and you don't work, that it's not going to work like that.
That's what I mean. Like,
But if you're convinced and you're doing the wrong things, it's not going to work either. So But it's just like, I think the faith and the conviction, maybe,
But
yeah.
will if you, so the question here is, and I think, but think you have to have both slightly, one more than the other, but you have to have a combination. But if if you get some setbacks, what will get you through much faster through those setbacks? Faith or conviction?
It depends. But for some people, and I believe some people, it's faith. Other people, it's conviction.
Mhm.
I think it depends. There are people who are more, for example, Steve Harvey is one, Tabitha Brown, and Tyler Perry. They are very, uh, so God plays a central role in their lives, and they talk about God a lot. So that's a faith. You have faith and conviction. I don't know if you can differ. You can. I really think they're complementary, because I do think that they complement each other. But for some people it's faith. They're down, they're crying, and what do? They pray to God.
Is it safe to say that you have to understand which one pulls you through as well, so you don't get
You need to.
understand yourself first?
So I would say you need to know what it is that works for you,
Mhm.
that gets you through a certain situation. For example, for some people, it's prayer. For other people, it's maybe playing an instrument, or going for a walk, clearing the mind. So
Clear the mind, don't clear the clip.
well, unless you only have one in the chamber.
Oh, no. Don't. Oh my god.
Let's continue, man. This is not.
Another type of show. Let's continue. Let's continue.
They got the concept of creating a remote from the Bible. See, God is tied to all of this. You better understand what I'm trying to tell you now. The Bible says, a man is as he thinketh. God created us in his image. God thought of this world. He thought of it, so he created it. So he made you just like him, that your thoughts can create things. He made you just like him. Now, you can't go make earth and heaven like he did, but you can make a better world for yourself.
Yes. And with that, we are done with the clip. You can again see God, him talking about God. Um, but you can also, they also use the conviction. You need to be convinced of what God can mean for you in your life. So, but what I wanted to say is about the mental. They say the world is mental, and it is, because it's crazy. But at the same time, uh, the creation is mental. So you think it, so it happens, or so it should happen. I do believe that in a certain extent. Sometimes you just need to pave. I think I talked about it. It's just a shift of mind that can start a whole process. For example, someone that is desperate, that doesn't see a solution to a temporary problem. We made a joke. Uh, we made a joke like 2 minutes ago. But some people say, you know what? I'm through with this. I'm going to delete myself from the face of the earth, because they can see a solution to a temporary problem. And oftentimes they are thinking, I can't live like this. I can't, or no, they say to themselves, I don't want to live. I don't want to live. I don't want to live. But actually, what they are actually saying is, I don't want to live like this anymore. So they're saying, I don't want to live anymore, but they should be saying, I don't want to live like this anymore. And it's just one extra word, which is the this, that makes it different, because when you say I don't want to live anymore, you're basically saying there is no that this is the only way that I can live, or the only way to live, and I don't want to do this. But if you say I don't want to live like this anymore, then the next question would be, okay, so how do you want to live? And it makes the way um, for growth. So to tie it back to the example I gave at the beginning of the show, someone that says I want to the person that says I can't wait until I win the lotto to become rich, versus the other one saying I'm gonna work and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that to become rich. Those are two different mindset, and one of them, most likely the one that thinks I want to work to get rich and be successful, has a higher chance of getting rich and successful, and the other one has a lower chance. And even if that person gets rich and successful, because of his mindset, there is a high chance that he would lose it all within fragment of a fraction of time, purely because he doesn't know how to value what he has. He doesn't work hard for it. Easy comes, easy goes.
Yeah.
Yes. KR, anything else you wanted to add to this topic?
No, I think it's a pretty good motivational speech by Steve. Now I can remember his name. Um,
Uncle
and
Steve.
Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve.
Yeah,
No, but yeah, I mean, guys, just follow his lead.
yeah.
Not always, but I think in this case, he's
Yeah.
definitely right.
Definitely some things that I don't agree with, but
Yeah.
what you can't deny is this person is a hard worker, and he knows what he's talking about because he's living it. Guys, with that being said, thanks for tuning into this edition of Motivational Check-In. Whatever your thoughts are, please let us know in the comment section below. Remember to rate the show by smashing the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to comment as well your thoughts and opinions. Share with us, and tell us which videos we should talk about in the next motivational check-in. Remember to follow us on our socials as well at Double Touch Show on Instagram and Facebook. And once more, remember to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us. With that being said, we'll see each other in the next one. Take care. Peace.
Peace.